Alara's footsteps echoed softly on the path as she ventured deeper into the garden of lost memories. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers and the gentle hum of unseen creatures. The garden was unlike anything she had ever seen, an ever-changing landscape of vibrant colors and shifting forms. Trees with golden leaves stretched high into the sky, while crystal-clear streams wove through the lush greenery like veins of silver. The archway through which she had entered seemed to dissolve behind her, its presence fading as if it had never existed. The garden itself appeared endless, its beauty both captivating and overwhelming. Alara had expected a place of wonder, but she hadn't anticipated its sheer scale and the sense of timelessness that enveloped her. As she walked, Alara noticed that the flowers and plants seemed to lean towards her, as though they were eager to show her their secrets. She felt a gentle pull towards a large, ornate fountain at the center of the garden. Its basin was filled with water that shimmered with 1,000 hues, and around its edge were carved symbols that matched those on the stone pedestal she had encountered earlier. Standing beside the fountain, Alara noticed a figure seated on a nearby bench. The figure was cloaked in robes similar to those worn by the keeper she had met earlier, though this person's robes were a deep, midnight blue. Unlike the keeper, this figure had their hood down, revealing a face of serene beauty and wisdom. Their eyes, an unusual shade of silver, seemed to reflect the light of the garden in a way that was both mesmerizing and slightly unsettling. "Greetings," the figure said, their voice smooth and soothing. "I am the keeper of the garden's secrets. I sense you have completed the trial set before you." Alara nodded, still trying to absorb the wonder of the garden. "I did. The trials were challenging, but they led me here. I'm looking for answers about my family and my past." The keeper of secrets stood and approached her with a graceful, deliberate pace. "The garden holds many answers, but it is not a place of simple revelation. It is a mirror of the soul, reflecting the truths that one is ready to confront. To uncover the secrets you seek, you must first understand the nature of the garden itself." Alara's curiosity piqued. "What do you mean by understanding the nature of the garden?" The keeper of secrets gestured towards the fountain. "The garden is a living entity, a place of memories and reflections. It responds to the emotions and intentions of those who enter it. To find what you seek, you must harmonize with its essence." As if in response to the keeper's words, the water in the fountain began to swirl, forming images and shapes that seemed to tell a story. Alara leaned closer, watching as scenes from her past began to materialize in the water's surface. She saw herself as a child, playing in her grandmother's garden, her laughter mingling with the rustling of leaves. Then came scenes of her parents, their faces filled with both joy and sorrow, followed by images of moments she had long forgotten, her mother's comforting embrace, her father's stern advice, and the bittersweet farewell when she left for college. The images shifted and changed, each one evoking a mixture of emotions within her. Alara felt a pang of sadness as she saw her parents' final moments, their decline marked by a sense of loss she had never fully processed. The garden seemed to be offering her a chance to confront these memories, to understand and accept them. "You see," the keeper of secrets said softly, "the garden reveals not just what you wish to find, but also what you need to understand. It shows you the past, not to dwell on it, but to learn from it. Each memory is a thread in the tapestry of your life, and only by acknowledging these threads can you weave a future of meaning." Alara nodded, her mind racing with the implications of what the keeper had said. "So, how do I find the specific answers I'm looking for?" The keeper smiled gently. "The answers you seek are intertwined with the memories and emotions that reside within you. The garden will guide you, but you must be willing to follow its lead." Trust in the process and in yourself. Alara took a deep breath and turned her gaze back to the fountain. She focused on the images, allowing herself to feel the full spectrum of emotions they evoked. The scenes of her past began to coalesce into a clearer narrative, one that revealed not just the events but also the underlying patterns and connections that had shaped her life. As she continued to observe the shifting images, she noticed a recurring symbol, a delicate, golden flower that seemed to appear in many of the scenes. It was a flower she had never seen before, its petals glowing with an otherworldly light. The flower seemed to hold a particular significance, a key to understanding the deeper meaning of the memories. "Do you see the flower?" the keeper asked, noticing Alara's focused expression. "That flower is a symbol of hidden knowledge and transformation. It appears when there is something important to uncover. Follow its path, and it will lead you to the answers you seek." Alara's heart quickened as she resolved to follow the flower's trail. She left the fountain and ventured deeper into the garden, guided by the vision of the golden flower. The garden's landscape shifted around her, as if it were responding to her quest. The paths and trails seemed to open and close in accordance with her movements, creating a labyrinthine maze that both challenged and intrigued her. After what felt like hours of wandering, Alara arrived at a secluded glade bathed in soft, golden light. In the center of the glade was a large, ancient tree with branches that reached towards the sky, its leaves shimmering like gold. At the base of the tree was a small, ornate door, intricately carved with the same runes that had appeared on the stone pedestal. Alara approached the door with a sense of awe. The golden flower from her vision seemed to be etched into the door's surface, guiding her to this very spot. She hesitated for a moment, her hand resting on the door's handle. The air around her was thick with anticipation, and she could feel the weight of the secrets that lay beyond. Taking a deep breath, Alara turned the handle and opened the door. Beyond it was a small, dimly lit chamber. In the center of the room was a pedestal, and upon it rested a delicate, golden book. The book's cover was adorned with the same flower that had appeared in the visions. Alara approached the pedestal and gently lifted the book. As she opened it, the pages revealed themselves to be filled with handwritten notes and illustrations. The text was in an ancient script, but as she focused, the words began to make sense. The book contained a detailed account of her family's history, their connections to the garden, and the mysteries they had left behind. Her eyes widened as she read about her ancestors' experiences with the garden and their quest for understanding. The book described how they had each faced their own trials, and how their experiences had shaped the garden into the sanctuary it had become. Alara realized that her own journey was part of a much larger narrative, one that spanned generations. As she read, Alara felt a profound sense of connection to her ancestors and to the garden itself. She understood that her quest was not just about uncovering her own past, but also about honoring the legacy of those who had come before her. The Keeper of Secrets words echoed in her mind, "The garden reflects your soul, and in understanding it, you understand yourself." Alara closed the book with a sense of fulfillment and gratitude. She had taken a significant step towards uncovering the truths she sought, and she knew that her journey was far from over. The garden had shown her that the answers she sought were deeply entwined with the legacy of her family and the magic of the garden. With renewed determination, Alara left the chamber and made her way back to the fountain. The garden's landscape seemed to welcome her return, the paths opening up as if in recognition of her progress. She knew that there were more secrets to uncover and more lessons to learn, but she was ready to face whatever lay ahead. As she looked out over the garden, she felt a sense of peace and purpose. The journey was only beginning, and Alara was prepared to embrace the mysteries and challenges that awaited her in the garden of lost memories.